forward and rhythm, but not necessarily collections. You can have a little bit of collection, but you've lost your forward, which means you have to go back down a rung. But nobody gets on and goes, oh, my horse is forward, I'm going to collect and do Grand Prix. Now, some people do that. We see that in the show ring. We see that in training. We see people make, have you ever heard somebody say, put your horse in a frame? Where you pull real hard on their mouth and make them look that way. What does pulling do in general to a horse? Stop. Stops. So if you're trying to get your horse to move freely forward and you pull on the reins, what do you think that horse is going to choose to do? Stop. You're going to halt all that energy. It's like putting your finger over the end of a hose and hoping you can water your plants. It's not going to happen. So there is a pattern, there is a path to lightness. It takes time. When you're riding, especially if you want to ride for the whole of your life, which I would hope you would, because it's the best gift you can give yourself as a human and especially as a woman. It makes you powerful, right? You can control a 1,200-pound beast. Nothing will stand in your way, right? But you have to give yourself the space, the time, and the patience to develop this. This is not a year sport. You don't go from intro level to Grand Prix in a year. If you do, you've broken your horse and you've probably destroyed your own spirit. So never, ever, ever be afraid to give yourself space to do that. So let's flip these pages over. So a lot of people are here today because they find dressage a little mysterious. It is. They find it a little bit off-putting. It can be. You know, how many of you have done a dressage show? Some of you? Any of you? That's okay. Again, you're doing dressage, you just might not be showing it. And you don't have to show it. It exists as a discipline on its own. It also exists as a preparatory discipline for all other styles of riding, okay? Some of the best dressage riders I know are jumpers. Some of the other best dressage riders I know are Western working horsemen with horses that are so soft and supple and forward to the bit. Even though the rein is 10 feet long, that horse is still reaching for the bit the whole time. So, just because you wear white pants and a fancy hat does not make you a dressage rider. Just because you wear a cowboy hat and chaps does not mean you're not a dressage rider, okay? So, what we're looking for in dressage, and this is going to be more specific to the people who are actually showing it either as eventers, so I know these three ladies here on my end left are eventers and you are as well. A lot of you I recognize, but not so much without your helmets on. So I run the Queenie Park Horse Trials. If you're familiar with that, it's a 3-day event nationally recognized by the United States Eventing Association, which uses dressage as one of the phases to show the judge that your horse is fit, your horse is obedient, and your horse is muscularly ready to go on to the jumping. It shows us that he's not unsafe or unfit for jumping, okay? That you have a nice athlete that's in harmony with you, that answers your questions without obstacles so that he will answer your questions with obstacles. And people leave the dressage arena and say, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I got a 4 on that movement. And the scribe will write, needs more. Needs more what? So I'm here to help you understand and demystify some of these terms. Everything you could want to know is written on your dressage test. As a judge, I'm a judge. I'm getting my certification. It's a 5-year process, so it's real long. The purpose on the top of a test, this is an intro level B test. It's a walk, trot, dressage test. All of us can do it, right? At the very top it says purpose, right? That's a good word, that's a clue. What do you need to do? To introduce the rider and or horse to the sport of dressage. Welcome, that's all it's saying, welcome. To show understanding of riding the horse forward with a steady tempo into an elastic contact with independent, steady hands and a correctly balanced seat. To show proper geometry of figures in the arena with correct bend, corners, and circles. That's everything you need to know. Now, that's simple. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's what you need to know. Then there's a movement that you have to do, and there's usually like between 14 and 20, depending on the test. It tells you, enter working trot rising. What do they want to see? Straightness on center line and in transitions. A clear trot and walk rhythm. All right, so that's what we have to do. But a lot of people get in there and they, as a lot of people do with tests or anything where somebody's judging or watching you, you'll lose a little bit of your marbles, right? You get a little nervous. That person sitting in the judge box only wants best things for you, has a lot of love as you walk down the ring, wants you to succeed. They're not mean, they're judging, but they're judging on basics, facts of your riding. They're not making personal judgments. They're not saying anything about you bad, ever. I've judged and practiced judged and scribed for over 25 years, and I have never seen somebody say nasty things. I've seen people say, oh, I wish that rider would ride a little more forward, or oh, that rider's not ready for this level, or oh, poor horse, that horse is upset. So you need to remember that when you go in the ring, these are human beings in front of you in the judge box. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. One of the things in the directives was to show proper geometry of figures and to show a steady tempo. Well, a steady tempo is what? How do you get tempo in a horse? How? What is a tempo? It's a beat. How do you get this in a horse? How do you get them to do something? You make them go forward. That's it. Sorry? Kick, squeeze, whatever your horse needs. Some horses need a lot, some horses need a little, some horses you just think it, depending on the level of training and their energy level, right? And on a hot day, you might have to bludgeon a horse to make it, go. And on a cold day, you just think it and you're in the next county. It just really depends, right? But to get that, you have to have forward. So what do we need when we get on a horse very first? We need forward. You cannot move a stationary horse, right? If you get in a car, and I know not all of you are drivers yet, but if you get in a car and you get in the driver's seat and you go, I want to go to the store, but you don't put your foot on the gas, where are you going? Nowhere. You can't turn, you can't move. So we have to ask the horse to go forward first. It's not on your pyramid of training because it's implied. They just hope you already know that. A lot of people forget. They're trying to turn their horse and the horse is like, stuck to the ground, can't turn. I can't turn unless I'm moving. So we have forward first and then we get a rhythm. Rhythm is the collection of steps. So a walk has a 4-beat rhythm. Trot has a 2-beat rhythm. Canter has a 3-beat rhythm. Is each horse's rhythm the same? No. It's very personal. So a rhythm is the way they walk. So for example, I have a big stride. I'm a hurrier. I walk big. Somebody else might walk really slowly. That's their rhythm. It's okay. As long as you're not making a shorter rhythm or a longer rhythm. The tempo is the repetition of that rhythm. So every horse can have a quick tempo, a slow tempo, depending on what you're asking. But the rhythm is important because once we have rhythm, we have relaxation. How is a relaxed horse? How do we know a horse is relaxed? If you're riding all by yourself, your trainer's not there, your mom's doing Sudoku in the corner, and you're just riding because you have a day off school and you just want to practice stuff. How do you know your horse is relaxed? What are some physiological body clues? That was a clue. Tell me about that. What did you just do? Cleared your throat. Has anybody been riding their horse and they go? Okay, so a horse has a very long neck. When they're relaxed, they can let that snot out. A tense horse doesn't do that. So that's a clue. What's another clue?
Ears forward, maybe?
Ears forward. Yeah, alert, looking around, being attentive to their surroundings. That's relaxed. What about when your horse stretches his head and neck forward and gets very long and loose? What do you think about that? Yeah. So if you touch your toes and you're hanging there and it feels really good and it's wonderful, are you tense?
No.
No. So we are looking for these simple, and these are basic things that everybody can do. We overthink everything in dressage. Really, we do as people. As humans, we overthink most things. So we need to go forward. We have a horse that just begins to walk. Great. Now we check the quality of that rhythm. Is it 4 beats? Is it 2 beats, which would be a lateral walk, which we may or may not see today, and I will point those gait changes out to you because those are relevant to the judge and to your training. Is the gait 4 beats at the walk? If it is, goody. If your horse is walking like this, like he's going to a funeral, is that a good rhythm? No. That horse is also not going to be able to relax. If I made you, green blanket, come to me. Let's walk together. We're just going to link arms, okay? Like we're holding your rein, okay? I'm going to walk in my tempo. Ready? Is that comfortable for you? Okay, why? That's how I walk all the time. People say, slow down. It's my tempo, it's my rhythm. So how would you walk? Walk as comfortably as you like. There's her rhythm. Now, can you walk that rhythm to that light standard and then speed it up for me? Same rhythm, but quicker tempo. There, see, it's the same step, she's just moving more ground under her feet. Now, same rhythm, slow your tempo. Same step. And speed your tempo up. That's hers. It's not mine. It's hers and it works for her. Now, if I said, hey, to be my friend, you can only walk the way I walk. She would hate my guts after about 2 weeks because she would be uncomfortable. She would never be able to relax. Her legs wouldn't feel right. Her bones would say, stop making me walk at somebody else's rhythm. Sit down, thank you. It's important that you have the horse have his rhythm, you affect the tempo. Now, if you have a horse that's not fit and it has a good rhythm, should you make it walk really fast? No, it can't yet. It'll lose its rhythm. They're two separate things. It's kind of a hard concept, but after you study it a little bit and experience it a little bit more, it becomes clear, like everything in life, right? We have to expose ourselves to things, learn about them, practice them, make a trillion mistakes, and go, didn't work out, let's try again. So again, we have a rhythm that the horse can relax into. The best way to find that, you're going to see that with every rider today, they're going to start in a long walk. It's very tempting, because we have thumbs, we're humans, to get on a horse and go, shorten up the reins when they get in the ring, especially on cold days when they're looking around, and they don't really, when they're kind of jittery and tense. Here's where you learn to be a trainer. And if you're holding a rein or a lead rope, you're a trainer. For better or for worse, you are the trainer. You're teaching your horse habits, and you want them to always be good, right? So we'll have these riders come in, and they'll pick up a long rein and give the horse the space to be good. Give the horse the space to relax and find his or her rhythm. Not mine, not the rider's. Here's the other fun thing. What could happen on a long rein? Could the horse take off? Absolutely. Could the horse buck? Sure. Could the horse lose total attention and go and look out the window?